So, crypto news for today. We're going to get into a little bit of the market status right now, but then I am going to be talking about my crypto portfolio after I've had some suggestions to do so. Not necessarily the dollar amount of my portfolio, but the coins that I do have in it and my overall allocation. We'll definitely be jumping into that. Now, I'm going to do a very, very quick update on the overall status of the crypto market currently. If we get into it, we can actually see that the status right now, we obviously pumped pretty hard yesterday. And then kind of in today, we're consolidating a little bit from that point. We're not down too much. We're still significantly higher up than we were a day before yesterday, 2 days ago. So we're still up a decent amount. We're kind of just chilling now and ultimately just waiting for election and really waiting for the end of this month before things, I believe, will kick off. So honestly, guys, a quick little update about today is we're just chilling. I mean, at the end of the day, we are simply just chilling. Not much is going on. And now we're going to be getting into my crypto portfolio. So I'm going to start with my highest allocation, and then we'll work our way down from there. And starting with my highest allocation, of course, if you guys have been watching my videos, Aerodrome Finance is the coin that I have the most amount of money allocated into. So the reason for me having so much Aerodrome, I'm 18 years old. I feel that I like to risk a lot of my money in order to potentially be able to buy a full Bitcoin or even two Bitcoins, depending on how this bull run goes for me, because I believe Bitcoin is going to be one of the strongest assets in the near future, especially if we keep up our digital, what do you want to call it, innovations that we keep having. At the rate that we are going with AI, with everything, I think currency is going to follow suit. That's why I believe in Bitcoin, but I need the allocation. I need the money to allocate into Bitcoin. So this is my master plan. All of the money, except for a tad bit that I'm going to spend that I make this alt season, will go into Bitcoin. And I have my money, the most allocation. I think if I want to give you this the right amount, I think I either have 50 or 60% of my portfolios into Aerodrome, which might sound crazy to some, but it really is not that crazy to me. I believe Aero is such a strong coin and it's going to perform so well this bull run. And even if it doesn't, I'm completely fine with that, because leading on into the second bag, or my most allocated alt, and this isn't even an alt, this is Bitcoin, guys. I have 25% of my money in Bitcoin, and the reason for this is because this is almost like a safe haven in the crypto space. Like, if all my alts die, if we don't see an alt season, and if we don't see an alt season, then of course your alts are going to die. So in the event that alts just kind of die, I still have my Bitcoin. And assuming Bitcoin's still around and then Bitcoin gets implemented, the 25% amount in my portfolio that I have will then be very, very beneficial to have in the long run. Whereas if I have all my money in altcoins, nothing happens, they go to zero, then I'll have no money to put into Bitcoin. So again, I have the Bitcoin bag simply just to have for in the event that I somehow lose all my altcoins, or the event that we don't have an altcoin alt season, and just to have the strongest crypto, right? This is the strongest crypto in the game, to make the safest returns on it. And I just have very big, very, very big outlook on where Bitcoin will be in the future, hence why I have some. So we have Aerodrome again being the staple of Coinbase, being the biggest allocation in my portfolio. Then we have Bitcoin, as I think I said, around 25. That leaves 25 to 15% of my portfolio being in a couple of coins. However, the most allocated of the three we still have yet to get into, the first one is Moonwell. So I have yet to do or talk about Moonwell, but it did come to my attention when it got listed on Coinbase. Brian Jung has spoken about this. He's a pretty prominent YouTuber. He's allowed me to get into Arrow, and really great guy. And I heard about Moonwell from him, and I find him to be a very credible source. And then I dug into it myself, learn more about Moonwell, and now it is a decent amount of my portfolio. I'd like to say it's 10% of my portfolio. And I really have high hopes for this coin as well. It kind of does work with Aerodrome. Coinbase also is investing into Moonwell. And it's something I'll get into a lot more in depth, more so in future videos. We'll talk about Moonwell more, but I'd highly recommend looking into Moonwell, considering adding this to your portfolio as well. But yeah, Moonwell, it is a coin that might be a little riskier than something like Aerodrome and of course Bitcoin, but it could have a pretty big payout. And then the final two coins I have are Relio Network, RIO, and IONET. IONET I had heard about in March, and I joined their community, got some airdrops, and just been pretty active. Then I stopped being active in IONET. But I recently got back into IONET. I have a very small allocation. It's like 5% of my portfolio. Not much at all, just to have an AI coin. I could have picked between that and Render and been happy with my AI pick. But I have IONET. Honestly, if anything happens with it, cool. If anything doesn't happen with it, I'm all right with that either. But yeah, IONET is essentially kind of related to Render in a sense where I believe IONET does more in terms of GPU processing or whatever it is than Render does. So it's just a cool coin to have. Honestly, I don't even know that much about IONET. I know it does work with GPUs and AI, and it's overall a pretty recommended token, but I definitely do your own research on that. If you are interested in finding an AI coin, I'd recommend IONET. And then Relio Network. So Relio is, I know there's Prop E, PROPY, and then Rio. These deal with real estate and real world assets. So you can see I'm trying to touch on some narratives. I don't have gaming or meme coins in my narrative in my portfolio. Those are both narratives, pretty big ones for this cycle. But you can see I do not have, or I do have real world assets. And I've been through a couple of different real world asset tokens, but I'm finally just settled in Relio. I'd like to say, a 7 to 8% allocation into Rio, so a little more than IONET, but nothing significant, of course. And I just love what Relio, if it actually was implemented into our daily lives, how impactful that would be in terms of housing, in terms of everything, kind of connecting your housing with the blockchain. That'd be very, very monumental, not only for the coin, but for the cryptocurrency space as a whole. So I try to dip my toes in everything, if you'd like to say. And that's why I have that real world asset coin, guys. And that is it for my portfolio. I do have ETH to cover just transaction fees, and that's it. A very small percentage, but that's it. So you can see I have a couple of altcoins, but I try to make sure I'm safe in whatever it is. So in any outcome, I mean, I try to cover any outcome. So if crypto was to fall off, I still have my stocks. That's something I didn't bring up either. If my stocks were to fall off, I have crypto. If my alts were to fall off, I have Bitcoin. And if all cryptos fall off, I have stocks. So I try to consider all outcomes, and that works best for me financially and in terms of investing, because then I can cover any situation that happens and be perfectly fine with it. So keep that in mind. That's something that if you are wanting to invest, make sure you have different assets in case one falters, you have others to kind of hold their own against the other one falling. And yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me today. Again, just a little quick update on the current crypto market and my own portfolio to give you guys. And that's going to be it. I'll see you guys later.